Hello, it is Elagatua. I apologize for being a little bit slow on the jump, but my internet decided that it was gonna die like 5 minutes ago, and so we're just trying to keep everything going on as smoothly as possible. Looks like we're commentating from stream today. Is that what's going on? So uh, maybe things are going to be a little bit delayed from the commentary booth, but we'll do our best. It's the finals. This is why we can't have nice things, right? It's always a mess the finals day. But Zaid's joining me. Welcome, Zaid. It's good to have you here
Hi,
again.
hi, hi. How's everyone doing? Yeah, this is going to be a great match. Two great runners, so really looking forward to it. And we'll see what. Hopefully, we'll get things sorted out soon, and we'll get started soon.
Looks like we've got a prelude start, so that's going to be kind of nice for routing. Might end up seeing some more hint buys in the shops with easier access to kind of save scum rupees and get to the market as child. But will be interesting to see how the openers play out. We've seen some nighttime river openers. We've seen some normal CAC openers in the past couple of matches, and we've got Natharian and Xavi here in the finals. This is a really exciting finals. We're gonna have another new champion in season 4, so that's really exciting. And both of these players are kind of veterans of the format, and so it's going to be cool to see one of them end up winning this tournament.
Yeah, I completely agree. This is going to be a very exciting match, and we don't know what the opening is going to be. Like Xavi last time decided to go child on his third match with Schulze, so I'm sure we'll see what's going to happen at the beginning. But yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
If the finals from past seasons are any indication, we are set for some wild swings, and we already got kind of a taste of that. The last race that we commentated was Natharian kind of sneaking one at the last minute over Cola due to some kind of GTG left side, right side routing shenanigans that ended up swinging the race at the last minute. And in the grand finals of previous seasons, we've had all sorts of wild thrills where races have switched leads at the last minute, Triforce pieces in the last minute or two before the time limit expiring. So I can't wait to see what we get today. And already some fireworks. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Wow, wow.
Okay, well, we are in for it today. Not only do we have an early child play from Xavi, but we've got our path counts, and this one is hefty. A double 18 with a 6. And in these season 4 settings, 18 paths can be very, very daunting. It is not unrealistic that this could be a race to the 6.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I kind of feel that doing the adult start is definitely the feels like the right play at the moment. But we'll see, we'll see. So especially with that graveyard after wisdom.
Well, I guess for everybody tuning in, maybe this is your warning to get a little bit comfortable. The past couple of races, we've seen kind of all 3 pieces relatively quickly, but this one is definitely the first race that I've seen in a while that's going to be threatening right off the bat to go to that time limit of 2 hours. We see Xavi farming some early money and looking like this is going to be an early Lon play, so I don't hate this, especially with Prelude. Going early child, you're not really sacrificing too much in terms of routing, and you're always going to want to go to Lon to get that song. So we'll see how that works out. Natharian, just really standard stuff. Going to be farming for that shield, and we're going to get information dumped on us as soon as these runners start running into these hints from their different routes.
And it'll be interesting to see what song Xavi gets. If he gets ZL, that can be really helpful if that happens to be the thing in graveyard. So we'll see how this plays out.
It's also going to be interesting to see if we get any path hints showing up for Wisdom. I think I was too distracted. I didn't actually see what the hint at the Temple of Time was. I'm going to check my my sheet, and it looks like it was Graveyard for Wisdom.
Yeah.
That's good because you kind of want those Wisdom paths to show up, considering that's the piece that you're going to be targeting. And a GTG on Power, and we've got some Iron Boots already in CAC. So Gonna potentially have some easy access to that water temple entrance once we pick up a hook shot.
We got a Requiem
Wow,
from...
Requiem and a hammer. So the hits keep coming. A lot of items showing up very, very early so far.
Requiem's a really nice song to get.
Yeah, that's going to lead to
Guarantees
another
another
song in Child, too. Probably pretty quickly. And Bolero, so we got a lot of song chaining happening at the beginning. Sometimes these high pat count seeds can end up being a hike fest, but with the songs we've seen so far, this is a pretty good good start. And getting Requiem early going to give us out of logic access to GTG, so that's we'll kind of see when ZL shows up or if hover boots show up, but already the potential for skips in the logic opening up. We'll see if forest access songs show up anytime soon, and a Kokiri sword on Netherian's side as well. So wow, they are really opening things up very early, and that'll be a dungeon in the child section that we can take a look at. Do you remember that in Season 4, all the child stone dungeons are shuffled together, and before we go any further, we see ZL available in the desert. So Xavi with a pretty nice route, getting rewarded with ZL, and when we end up in the graveyard as adult, we're going to be able to get that song right away, and Lon Lon Path of Wisdom, so that is Requiem on the path of Wisdom. Could just be for ZL, could be for some stuff in Spirit Temple. Kind of hard, or I guess in the Spirit Temple entrance. Did we check what dungeon that was?
Oh, it's Forest Temple.
Forest Temple. Okay, so Forest Temple is in the Spirit Temple entrance. So I don't really think that's going to find a way to get up to 6 unless there's some additional items locked behind some stuff.
Yeah. So far we have Kokiri's sword from Graveyard, and we will see what the song is in Graveyard as well on Xavi's side.
The Kokiri sword definitely could be the graveyard path item, but now Xavi in adult going to be heading to CAC, so we will see if the song in graveyard ends up being relevant as well.
And yeah, Therian's just going to clear out CAC, and we'll see what he whether he checks the DC entrance or if he goes back child.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if this might just be... I almost wonder if this could end up in River, actually, and then playing Bolero at the end of River.
Oh yeah, possibly, yes. Especially with the Iron Boots as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you could end up going all the way to the forest entrance, picking up that song, and then playing Bolero from there. That might get you a long way. So, moment of truth for Netherian. Let's see where we end up going here. Actually, we got to check this grotto first.
You also got the hammer. You could also maybe go through Goron City towards that area, but yeah, River's also an option. So
yeah, there's a lot of good options for Netherian. Kind of the world is his oyster at the moment. Alright, this does look like a river.
Yeah, this is it. And this you can also check Goron City on the way, while if you decide to take the Iron Boots into Lost Woods. I like this play. I think it's a good one.
Yeah, this could end up being like a really long adult section. Everything's kind of chained together very well. We'll see if any other items show up. Kind of got a good foundation for trekking around the world. But not a whole lot of obvious progression, per se.
Also, Netherian's got Bolero as well, so he will probably end up playing that at the end of wherever his route ends. I'm sure he'll be playing that, so...
Yep, definitely a very kind of clean way to get all of the adult songs. They've kind of been laid out nicely, and the more nice things get, the more plausible it becomes to end up obtaining these 18 pieces. A lot of times when seeds get really long, it's because the songs are very trolly, and a lot of maybe the warp songs are not available or preludes not available, and so you have to spend a lot of time trekking around the world, checking entrances and things like that. But from what we know, the songs are kind of behaving, and we got a Shadow Temple Path of Power. We don't know where Shadow Temple is necessarily yet, but on any 18 paths, Shadow Temple very likely to make an appearance. Is not a huge surprise. And another GTG power. That's another one we've seen already.
Yeah, that's the second copy of that. So yeah, I mean, Ethereum just wants to get hints. There's some areas. I'm not sure he'll check the meadow out of logic, but we'll see.
Water Temple Foolish. I do think you'd go to Meadow, because you come all this way with the Iron Boots.
Yeah.
You might as well pick up the song and then going straight to...
I mean, it's a play I'd make, but I don't necessarily think if it's the right play, but like it would be, you know, you get 3 more hints, and yeah, it's the right play.
This is where we're going. Really nice Mido skip there. And farming some more money. I'm gonna be doing that check in the Lost Woods with the hammer. I'll probably have to pop out of SFM, although I think Netherian is gonna go get the song and then actually run all the way back out of SFM and do the rest of the cleanup. And so I think you're right. We might see Goron City actually at the tail end of this play before warping to Bolero as the last thing.
It just makes sense with the hammer. You get 3 chests in the maze, you get a hint, and you get 2 easy hints in Goron City. I feel like it just makes sense.
Yep, no, I'm totally with you. I agree with that. Let's see if we can. Oops, a little bit scuffed on the first attempt to get on top of this maze. Looks like. Oh, we short hopped it. All right, it's a little bit of spaghetti on Netherian's side. Not too big a deal. I'm gonna back that up. Perfect. And Xavi gonna be into the Composer's Grave. So we're gonna see what this other graveyard song is. Ooh, we got a hammer on the path to magic. That's interesting. And the Dongo's on the path of power. So definitely Dungeon World Tour showing up on these 18 paths. Not surprising so far. Let's see what our songs end up being. We're gonna get songs on both sides of our screen here.
Get opponents, which seems to make more. I mean, they both.
OoT leads to Nocturne, so that's. I don't know what our medallion. Have we seen medallions yet? I'm not sure either runner has checked the medallions.
No, not yet.
We've got some special privileges as the commentary, because I think we know what the medallions are, but I'm not going to reveal that until our runners actually check.
Ooh, and a minuet from the Bolero song, so...
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit disappointing for Netherian to see how that plays out, although I don't think that's a huge deal necessarily. And Netherian's already checked the Wolfos Grotto. I think some muscle memory coming into play there, but... Oh, we do see Shadow is in the Fire Temple entrance, so not going to need magic to get into there. So we've seen Forest Temple, we've seen Shadow Temple, and we know that Water Temple is foolish. Spirit Temple on the path of power as well. No huge surprise. But we'll see. Definitely does seem like OoT probably going to be a factor for that Shadow Temple entrance, locking some kind of dungeon with stuff. But the question is kind of where does everything fall into place here? There's still a lot of potential for, with opponents available, And we don't have any logical access to ice yet, but I think a lot of the songs are pretty much acquired, at least most of the relevant ones. The only notable omission would be Storms. So we'll see if Storm shows up. And Fire Temple Path as well. This is almost every adult dungeon showing up on this path to these 18 Triforce pieces.
So we're going to see. We will be seeing the entrance for Secretary at some point after Xavi clears Lost Woods, but yeah, this is. We're going to see Florence as well.
Definitely kind of a dry adult spell, considering all the checks we've managed to get access to.
Yeah.
No explosives, no bows, no bomb shoes. I don't know if Netherian saw what that second chest, the hammerlock chest was. If that was like a bomb shoe chest, I'm not sure that Netherian.
Yeah, I thought he kind of sort of looked at it and didn't. I don't know. So it wasn't a bomb shoe chest. For his sake.
So Xavi picking up a big hint there. That's Market Path to Wisdom, and we do know that those Wisdom paths are potentially very important because of the potential difficulty with the 18-step Triforce pieces, and we do not know what that Market Path item is yet. We got Deku Tree in the Dodongo's Cavern entrance, so that's going to be one that that we can get a decent way of the way through, even without any more items.
Yeah, sometimes runners will just do this check and leave. The problem is without a bow, it makes it hard as adult to get into the basement. But we'll see what Netherian does here. Because his adult hasn't, as you said, his adult hasn't yielded any items that really helped him, even though he's routed in quite a few things.
With the hammer showing up as a path item in the unlock hint, you gotta feel like there's a decent chance that bombs are somewhere pretty buried in the seed, and any access to explosives to start sequence breaking things could be very important. Pretty cool to see the hammer in the Deku Tree. This is not something you see every day, messing up those skull tills on the wall pretty bad. See another hammer to magic meter duplicate path hint, or duplicate unlock hint rather.
There is a big chest here, so...
Yep, you're gonna see something.
Okay.
Blue fire arrows. ZL leads to a hook shot. Okay. Anybody's guess what that means? Let's see what our Deku Tree entrance ends up being. It is Jabu, so...
We need Ruto's. Well,
Dodongo's Cavern is path as well, so that means Ruto's is going to end up being path somewhere along the way as well. Whether it ends up actually being skippable still remains to be seen, but the entrance randomizer gonna be trolling us with a bunch of child dungeons that we can't quite clear that efficiently, at least without a little bit of hiking around. But Xavi gonna be checking some of these market checks to see if we can track down whatever that path item is on the Path of Wisdom.
Yeah, Netherian's just opened up the basement and now it's Bolero, so yeah, he can't really go any further, so he's going to be upset when he sees this minuet, but it is what it is.
Still getting minuet, not the worst when going child. Gonna at least make it nicer to grab that song, and then you can just do the Lost Woods from above. I'm going to be seeing that we have Shadow Temple in the Fire Temple entrance, and Xavi going to be seeing some back of lake hints. So Xavi really committing hard to the hints. Netharian kind of focusing more on a balanced approach. And wow, that is a big hint pickup there. That is Hylia on the path of wisdom in Lake Hylia. That's a really big deal.
And it's really good for him because now he gets the time of day to check Richard as well. So he can do the fishing and he can go back to market and see if Richard's anything.
Yeah, and definitely these lake checks are not ones that you're going to prioritize without some sort of information about it. And the fact that it's on the wisdom path as well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the one that you want to be prioritizing above everything else. And so now you know that, especially if child fishing ends up being nothing, we don't really have a way to buy beans at the moment. So,
A scale hint could be something, really worth considering at this point, depending
yeah,
on what happens
absolutely.
in
It's
child fishing.
definitely something. It does look like Netharian going to be checking
Yeah.
at least one of these back of lake hints. The question is, will Netharian loop around, or will this end up in child fishing? Okay, so Netharian is going to loop around, so that is good. Both of our runners are going to get this critical hint here. So not going to be a huge advantage for Xavi based on just kind of the risk of going for back of lake. And we'll see what they do with this this information. Xavi getting trolled pretty hard by this fish.
Okay. And a slingshot.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
let's
that
wait.
raises more questions than it answers, I fear.
Yeah. Okay. We get Richard. Yeah, we're gonna get Richard. So far we have Requiem, we have the Ponas that we believe is maybe the path, and we have ZL as well, potentially, to the wisdom.
Yeah, it's just it's uncomfortable because
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that might be path,
Yeah.
maybe.
We still have Kokiri Sword as something, we haven't got a Jabu's Kush, we haven't, these things are not, I'm not sure yet. There's a lot to figure out.
So market still unresolved in terms of what path item that's going to be. We're going to need some more stuff to turn up before we can figure out the end of that. And that does make it more likely that whatever is locking the seed down, maybe market is kind of the final item. Could be a bow for a big pose, could be the bomb bag, certainly, could be magic, which we know is path as well. For the and lens potentially. There's a lot of kind of weird options, but it does seem like we're gonna have to wander around a little bit before we can figure out the answers here. But Xavi heading to Lost Woods, gonna be trying to follow this slingshot path. Let's see where it leads. I believe that having the slingshot also gives us logical access to the first check in Jabu. So I'm curious if Xavi will go ahead and chase that down.
And that's a bow.
Oh, it's a bow.
Again, more questions, but we have to. It's the right thing to follow it down, and as you said, yes, he's going for that. Let's check in Jabu.
We did unfoolish the boomerang check in Jabu now that Dungeon Entrance Randomizer is enabled for the child dungeons, and Xavi actually just says, "Okay, that bow is convincing enough. I believe in the slingshot being path to unlock that bow." I wonder if it might be wise to think about maybe buying the bow hint to see if that is actually a path bow.
There's a couple of things here. There's like yeah, definitely. I think that's a good play. The buying the bow hint. I'm wondering if maybe just buying the bomb bag as well. We don't know how deep that is, but there is an option to do GTG without the hook shot, and a bomb bag is something that helps with that. So we'll see what Xavi does. But
Yeah, it's GTG is like a really tough call to do though because
yeah,
you've got the bow and you can do a decent amount of checks, but you can't actually do hookshotless GTG with the items that we have now. We don't have a bomb
no,
bag, we don't have hover
or hover
boots,
boots.
we don't have Song of Time, so doing right side is kind of stinky as well. I mean, I guess you can do like HBA, which is not the worst, but it's kind of a long trek. I guess maybe doing the field checks along the way is not
Yeah,
terrible. You're gonna pick up some more hints, but here's a big chest. Let's see what we got.
we got Song of Time on Burning Cack as well. Hit Boomerang.
Oh boy.
I mean, that puts the slingshot out of projectile for Jabu, but I mean, we still don't know if Jabu has anything at this point. Yeah, but I think Javi's going to do this, and I think this is okay. It's just, yeah, as you said, it's not fun going to GTG with just a bow. Put it that way.
Xavi picking up that boomerang immediately checks the medallions, probably wondering whether Jabu was is a stone dungeon um, to see if that was maybe locking Nocturne, but not the case. And actually, Jabu is I think the spirit medallion. So the only check that's going to be locking is the lighter of his check. So Jabu kind of unappealing to go to based on not having any hints for it. Oh, that is bomb choose. So that
So
is
we can
all of a
do,
sudden a very big pickup.
yeah,
Going to be our first major kind of logic skip available to us in kind of a gross location,
yeah.
but definitely a good time to pick that up. Let's see if Xavi ends up doing the south field checks or whether we're going straight to GTG after finding those choose. This looks like straight to GTG.
Yeah. I feel like with the caliber of opponent he's playing, I feel like he is being, he's just going for it. He's going, trusting his instinct on it, and this makes sense.
Yeah, it's just tricky because GTG is on the path of power, so there's no guarantee that this trek is going to help us get to that wisdom piece. Kind of remains to be seen how this all checks out. Now, getting the bomb choose is going to be nice because we at least have the ability to peek some of the Gerudo Valley checks as adult. But I think that's something that you probably come back to after you do the Fortress and GTG dip. Takes the guard down. Got trolled a little bit there, but got it under control. Not getting thrown all the way out. Nice, because if you do get captured, you are ending up in the valley.
Oh yeah.
No hook shot to get out of jail.
Yeah, it's possible, Purple, that the early hook could be in UTG just with the ZL to hook shot. We know opponents behind ZL, so that would make sense. We'll see now.
Here we are in GTG. Gonna get some information here. Probably gonna see the right side of the maze, especially with Song of Time buried so deep. It's access to potentially some very, very out of logic checks. Probably we'll see that at the end of this loop here, but definitely going to be seeing it.
The thing is, now we have two keys. You can always save scum them if there happens to be a chest on the other side, just to know what that item is, if it happens to be.
Kind of unlucky there. The Beamos ate one of the bomb chews, so we'll see if that ends up being a thing. We're seeing some hints on the left side. We got a
Fortress has a
fortress
bomb
for a
bag.
Wanderer bomb bag. Very interesting. DMT Wanderer wallet, and we got a strength upgrade in GTG out of logic. Amusingly, we're likely to end up with a bomb bag after HBA, so maybe these bomb chews not going to end up being that huge of a deal after all. We'll see. Into the maze. Let's see. That's some bomb chews on the right side. Did we see what was on the ledge?
Ooh, there is a there's a big chest in that hooklock chest, which requires a bomb bag for hookshotless. So I do wonder if Xavi will do. I mean, he's come all this way. He'll do the archery.
I feel like surely you end up doing HBA on the way out just because it's relatively fast. And yeah, Lost Woods is the path bow. So that's some good information for Netharian. Likely that slingshot is the path item in Hylia, and we've got a really wonky seed. And I guess if the bow locks all the bomb bags, then it does kind of make sense of how we've ended up in this spot.
Yeah. He's doing it. Yeah, good.
Yeah, so Xavi gonna peek top of Fortress and probably head to. That's a pretty cool peek. I didn't know you could peek it from there, but looks like you can at least know whether the chest was big or not without having to climb all the way up. So I need to learn that one if I ever start playing too much again. There's a whole lot of stuff I need to learn now that all the standard changes have gone through. Like things are. It's an exciting time to be doing rando right now. There's a lot of stuff to polish up on.
This is a really nice pickup for Xavi, and he will do. He's seen that big chest in GTG, and he will go back for it. And a very nice HPA.
Yeah, really nice.
And shoes.
All right, well, I guess the Gerudos have been hoarding all the explosives. I feel like we're probably going to just be heading straight back into GTG now. Gonna be doing hookshotless now that we've got that bomb bag available to us. But let's see, yeah, looks like it. Where are we going? Is this back out to Valley?
Oh, to peek like the Valley chest. I imagine.
It's interesting. Xavi not tempted by that big chest that we saw through the maze, which is something that could be acquired. Going to be doing the Valley checks, and then, well, let's see where we go from here. What was that on top of the arch?
I haven't.
There's something glowy.
Oh, I think it might be like a stick upgrade or something, potentially. I didn't see it properly.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell what it was. Yeah, I thought it might have been a bottle as well. Ooh, and an actual bottle on Xavi's side. So the ice play is available if we want to do that.
Surprised that Xavi didn't go into GTG, to be fair, with the information available.
Well, seeing that blue fire bottle, this
Yeah.
feels like Rush Ice now. We do know that Domain is foolish, so the blue ice for following King Zor not going to be super helpful. But regardless, and the potential to get into Ice Cavern, potentially pick up Storms, and knowing that ZL leads to a hook shot as well, very tempting. Oh no, surely this is big pose actually. This is big pose for that. Try to track down that market hint.
Yeah.
And the Varian back to shopping.
I think he's thinking this might be the hook
path
shot.
strength. So a path strength 1 definitely screams light trial showing up at some point, but we'll see. I didn't know that you could put the Poe in the bottle without dismounting from the horse.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
can.
new?
No, I think you can, but I've managed to do it on occasion, but only by chance. So I don't know what the actual setup is, but it is possible.
I always love watching other really good runners. You just pick up like so many little small things that you didn't know were possible.
Yeah. There's a hook shot.
Oh!
Yeah.
Wow, GTG paying off.
That's our market path, and I think we have 6 for wisdom, so
yeah. We thought that Xavi might be making a mistake by skipping out on the double dip of GTG, but it seems like going to Valley, getting that bottle, that was the true way, and now we're in business. Like we've got a million places that we can go now. Natharian going to be reversing to GTG as well. Natharian has a lot more information than Xavi, but Xavi's pretty much made all the right plays so far without really knowing for sure what it is. And I think Xavi's going to have to get lost in order for Natharian to make up the time, because we're about, I'd say, 8-ish minutes behind in terms of progression on Natharian's side, kind of the full GTG commitment. Still possible for things to get crazy, though. Natharian likely to pick up that... wait, Natharian doesn't have Eponas, does... Because no graveyard, because of the ZL.
graveyard.
Wow, so Natharian not going to have any explosives in GTG, and won't be able to get that Strength 1.
Yeah, it's not... Yeah, this is not great.
Although, interestingly enough, though, there were Bomb Shoes, Song of Time locked, on the right side of the maze. Natharian could elect to get those out of logic and get explosives that way, so it may still actually be okay.
It just so happens, though, if that piece happens to be the one in a big chest in GTG, they're both going to have to go back for it. Wisdom 1. That may not necessarily be the piece, so...
Yeah, I don't think that that can be the piece. Because... Oh, wait, no, I think you're right, because I guess Market would be the last path item, so it's just hookshot locked somewhere.
If we had Epona's Requiem... Well, if we had Requiem ZL, Epona's Slingshot, and then Hookshot. But then the Hookshot could really mean a lot of things, because we needed the bow anyway to get the Hookshot.
Yeah, so looks like Shadow Temple gonna be checking just the first couple of checks in here. We don't have hovers, so I'm not gonna be able to get that far, but it's still worth a shot. Not a huge commitment in terms of time.
And we have a Shadow to power as well, so yeah, this is right.
So let's see how Natharian plays this. This is going to be kind of an awkward situation. Not a whole lot of checks available. 2 keys. It's
Yeah,
certainly
2
worth
keys and
save scumming at the very worst, but we'll see what he makes of this.
yeah, I feel like he'll peek the left side. He might save, peek left side, and then just he'll save it now and then use it to get the choose. I think, just in case this is an item.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. Not a whole else doing in the maze, so you're not going to really need the keys for anything else. And actually, with that being a key there, the scumming becomes unnecessary entirely, which is kind of nice.
Exactly.
So Shadow Temple not paying out anything yet, so we're going to need hovers to get whatever path item is deeper there.
You know this is either a 10-pack or a 5-pack. So,
Yeah, we have seen the 20 already. So Natharian not having Eponas, but with the choose there, going to be able to pick up this Path Strength 1. All's well that ends well, I guess. But Bombchu, not enough to unlock Hookshotless, so we'll see if Natharian ends up back in Valley. Definitely gonna want to be able to get that bottle. Seems like a pretty critical item. Still missing Eponas, but the bottle is the harder thing to find. I'm sure Natharian will stumble upon Eponas at some point.
yeah, that's always the problem with when it's on that check-in market. If you don't have a bottle, you just can't do it. I mean, it's still possible that the cheap bowling is path 1 a bit. We're sticking with the hook shot.
Alright, Natharian's out of here. So not going to get that that bottle. Kind of unfortunate, but I mean, from what we know, there ought to be another bottle out there somewhere. Let's see where Natharian takes these newly found explosives.
There's a wallet, so that could come in very useful as well.
So it looks like we're going to see a Forest Temple dip here. This is our first look at some Forest Temple checks, I believe. For what it's worth, though, Forest is not hinted as far as we know as a path, so this is kind of a risky play.
Yeah.
Natharian kind of fishing here, missing Eponas, knowing that there's probably... I believe Natharian bought the hint for the bomb bag, so knowing that there's, you know, a bomb bag in Fortress, and knowing that that's like likely to lock whatever the market path is. Natharian not knowing what the market path item is going to be, probably assuming it's Bombchu Bowling when it is actually on. Well, we think it is on Big Pose. We'd imagine.
Yeah, the longer this goes on with Xavi having a hook shot, just the further behind that Natharian gets, but it's still a long way to go.
There's definitely still a long way to go, and we have all dungeons on our power and courage path so far. So it's not impossible for there to be path items in Forest unhinted, and maybe Forest just got left out of the hints, but we shall see. We're gonna at least get the first couple of checks here. Oh, there it is, the last one. Okay.
Wow.
Well, we didn't say it was impossible. We just said it was unlikely, and that's why we're commentating.
I'm wondering if Therian did check that and we didn't spot it because he was in Goron City, but I don't know. Anyway.
I thought he skipped it.
Yeah, I thought he may have done, but it's possible.
Yeah, because I remember him just piecing out of Goron City without breaking the wall. So I think he didn't have a chance to get that.
That's what I thought. But,
Wow. So the question is now, how deep in forest? Because Xavi is going to be following the Therian into Forest Temple, and we do have the hookshot on Xavi's side. So I'm not used to like Forest Temple without a hookshot. Is what in Forest Temple actually requires a hookshot once you're inside?
I think it's just the ledge if it has a key. So if you go to the
yes, yeah.
I don't know if hovers is in logic for that key as well from the top, so I'm not sure.
Did we peek that already?
I'm not sure yet. Slew, you can fall to it, but that means you would have had. The only way you can fall to that is if you get to the end anyway. So it couldn't be a key, but it could be an item. So
we'll see how far we can get. Natharian will not be able to, I guess, technically full clear forest, but we're gonna get some information on Xavi's side right away. Yeah. About whether Natharian's going to end up stuck here, because if there's a key, then that's going to be at least a little. Oh, it's a big chest.
So Natharian can get that if he gets the other keys. He just has to do the whole.
This could be a piece, right?
It's Ruto's.
Oh wow!
Which in a way kinda helps Natharian. At least it's a bottle. It's not the. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually agree that helps Natharian, because Xavi, I mean, getting that,
he has to take the long
like,
route
okay, I'm probably going to end up committing to the power and courage path, and I feel like getting that takes Xavi further away from what we think might be a Triforce piece in GTG, and if this thing ends up getting really clowny, then maybe Natharian still has a shot of picking up that wisdom piece first.
Yeah. Then it just comes down to Xavi. If he wants to win, he has to get the pieces. The problem for Natharian is to get that chest, he will have to do all the forest.
Natharian gonna see that chest on the ledge is big, and knowing that if he wants to collect it, he's gonna have to commit deeper to forest than Xavi did. Natharian's kind of, I feel like maybe in Natharian's mind, you kind of committed to GTG without Epona, and then turns out you probably needed Epona. And you're just trying to hope that you can weasel your way through to whatever the progression is without picking up Epona, because you feel like the route is just kind of so messy that you're kind of hard committed to it anyway.
I just feel because he bought the bomb bag, and he knows it's in Gerudo Fortress, I don't know, that he would go and get Epona's song, but it's not easy to go. Just not the without Nocturne. It's just a pain, really.
Yeah, sometimes you're just in too deep, basically.
Yeah.
And you just gotta like try and find a way to make it work, because you feel like committing to Epona at this point is almost like giving up, because you're so inefficient at that point that you're really unlikely to be able to win.
I feel the way Xavi's playing this seed, he's playing for all the pieces. It's which is of course very doable. Xavi will know that GTG was an option for that 6-piece.
It does feel like the seed has been kind of efficient enough to get around.
Yeah.
We're only like 47 minutes in, and we've got a pretty substantial amount of information. And even though I think Bombag was kind of trolly, things have been nice enough that it does feel like the 18 pieces are not like out of reach. At least not yet. With the path strength 1, well, and still nothing that we've used it for, by the way.
Also, from Xavi's perspective, sometimes the problem with the 18 is there's just like an item you can't get, but he also has all bullets. There's potential to get the strength 2 and stuff, so there is, for the time being, he doesn't have to worry about where is he going to get his items from. He's got so much information.
I think Natharian was going for the 1 cycle on Phantom Ganon, but Phantom Ganon kind of trolling Natharian a little bit. Ooh. Phantom Ganon trolling Natharian a lot. Okay. Got through it. Wasn't pretty, but there is, I guess, technically a chance for a second path item to show up in Forest Temple, like a strength upgrade or something like that, because all of our paths have been dungeons, and Jabu ends up being foolish, so Xavi making the right call not to dip into Jabu earlier on when he had the chance. It just feels like Xavi's been making all the right plays this seed.
Yeah. The early child, the early ZL, into graveyard, saddle to pick up. It's just a lot of good things have worked his way, and I think this is the right play with. And if you're doing DC, do the bosses, I guess. And just,
yeah, you gotta clear DC because it's a stone, and so if you need access to that that Shadow Temple entrance, you're gonna have to do this anyway. So this is kind of just required progression for Xavi.
Yeah.
And we have a path item in here somewhere too, so this is pretty straightforward.
Yeah. It is daunting coming in here as a child without a slingshot, just in case it is that one check that requires a slingshot. Or 2 checks, really.
In the Therian, deeper and deeper into Forest Temple we go. Not the best feeling though. It feels really horrible to be committing to this. You're just kind of hoping that that piece on the ledge is not the only item we need. And here's a big chest. This might be the path item in DC.
Lens.
Yeah.
Not yet. That's not. I mean. We know we need magic. I mean, we know magic is part. But I'm pretty sure.
I don't know about that one.
I'm
Did
sure
we
Xavi
see
will be
all of
doing the
DC,
rest
or
of
did
it.
Xavi skip some of the upstairs checks?
Xavi will go back and do, depending what he gets on King Dodongo. He skips pretty much. He's only done these 2 checks.
Okay. Yeah, I would be extremely skeptical of of that lens based on what we've seen so far. But
You've got to be really brave. Like, unless, you know, Unless you actually had magic and you could Furor's back and do the check, then no, you kind of have to do. See.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with Xavi's route. I didn't know how confirmed it was that lens was a thing. And it sounds like it's not confirmed. Unfortunately for Natharian, nothing nothing special appearing in Forest Temple so far. Just seems like this is gonna be the full clear just to get out of logic. Not a whole lot. I think there's like one chest left that we don't know about that could potentially bail Natharian out.
We'll see Xavi go back to DC pretty soon.
Yeah, just picking up that fairy fountain, and we're going to be back to DC to clear out the rest of those checks, most likely. Still need a long shot, potentially, to be able to clear Morpha. And, yeah, Natharian, just a Forest Temple for this Rudos. Not the best feeling.
Yeah, this doesn't feel great, but... He's Natharian, if he wants a hook shot, he's still going to have to pick up a bonus at some point, so...
It does seem likely that there's not going to be any sort of...
way out.
Yeah, and no major way out. The only thing I think of is if Longshot ends up being into Dongos, that could potentially provide a way back. But a lot of things have to go right for Natharian. So here's a big chest. Let's see if this is what we're looking for. Huh.
Or a shield. The thing is, it would imply that... thing is, if Longshot was here, I guess it would just imply that the hookshot's not blocking the other hookshots, then we would be a little confused about our wisdom path, I think. I think at this point we'll assume hookshot blocks the other hookshot. I may be wrong.
Natharian gonna get the bad news that it is Jabu in the Deku entrance, so unfortunate, but gonna have to be following in Javi's footsteps to head to the Jabu entrance to get into Dodongo's cavern, which I'm sure Natharian that's the plan. But will at least provide a way to open up the bottle if you turn in the letter, so that would allow you to actually do pose on foot if you want it.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. Okay, so we have a mirror shield and we have lens, and we're going to trust at the moment mirror shield as our DC path. So it was we got mirror shield as well. So we also have a forest medallion on the Spirit Temple.
Yeah, it does feel like that might be what the answer for, especially if Spirit Temple is just in the Shadow Temple entrance. If you're in that kind of situation, things are going to start to get spooky again real fast.
Fire has the path magic, which we...
I don't know, this 18 path is starting to look pretty scary again. You've got, like, let's say that we've got storms on Prelude for 2 pieces in bottom of the well, right? Like, that's kind of what it feels like. If that's the case, then we're going to need another strength upgrade, which we can buy him for. And then it's looking like we're gonna have to beat Spirit Temple for that. But if Spirit Temple is in the Shadow Temple entrance, then we're gonna need Dins and that magic in Fire Temple. Looking like Fire Temple is probably in the Water Temple entrance, but who knows how deep we're gonna have to go into Fire. But you start adding all this up, and there's a lot of stuff to do potentially. Although, I mean, we do have an hour.
We have an hour, and we have that. Because we also have a spirit to power path as well. It's not just like mirror is also completion. There's also something in spirit we need. So we're then thinking, well, Dins is probably not in spirit. My problem with these long paths is sometimes you just don't. There is an item that you just don't get hinted, and it really becomes difficult. And then it becomes a case of actually we need that wisdom piece because the other guy's not going to finish. So there's a lot. Yeah, we have an hour and a lot of interesting things can still happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's probably quite good this seed that we have a strength 2 hint, because I think that could be a really critical piece of information.
And only Xavi has the wallet at the moment.
The problem with the spirit power hint is that it's entirely possible that it could be a strength 2 in child spirit to just let you finish adult spirit.
Oh yeah, and there's also that awful situation, So
And we've got Shadow Temple, which has another item. We need hovers for that, and we're likely to need Long Shot as well to be able to finish Water Temple, so that we can get Nocturne. So something's missing somewhere.
While Xavi's doing all this progression, we also have Natharian going to GTGP. So we may be seeing what that...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we may be seeing what that item is in GTG.
Yeah, it does feel like Natharian gonna be kind of giving up on avoiding Epona. Gonna get that bomb bag, but it's still like it's not a slam dunk. Like, you get that bomb bag, and then what do? You might just be thinking, I need to rush market immediately and do bomb chew bowling, and not end up in
Natharian. He has a bottle. He has to also hand in the letter to get the hook shot. So
exactly. So I worry that Natharian's going to pick up this bomb bag and not end up back in GTG, but we'll see. It's a big decision point for Natharian coming up.
We don't have a scale and all these things, so they add up,
Xavi defeating Volv. Nothing yet. The deeper this goes into Fire, like, the scarier it looks. And the door's open for Natharian, potentially.
Yeah.
To make this really exciting, but the pieces got to fall in the right place, both literally and figuratively. We're 1 hour through, so happy halfway. We take this moment to thank all the other volunteers involved with the restream. Thank you to our trackers, and thank you, Zaid, for accompanying me, and thank you to Hell Knight for doing the restreaming. We kind of made it through our obligatory batch of technical issues, and we were rewarded with what has been a very interesting race of Triforce Blitz Season 4 in this Grand Finals Game 1. Thank you to our trackers, Purple, Virgil, Dante 100, and the wonderful Baseball works so hard to make everything function behind the scenes. Couldn't do it without you, Baseball, so really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Natharian going to be picking up this bomb bag, and all eyes are on what happens next. Where are we going? Are we going back Child, or are we going to GTG?
it depends on Netherian's mindset. He's going to feel so behind with that Fructose. If you think,
Yeah, it might just be worth going for it. So this looks like it might be GTG. Still could be Valley. No, there are. We're back into GTG, so here we go. Race is on, friends.
If we think it's right, we don't know yet. we just don't know.
It's more on than it was about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Let's enjoy the show. Let's see what we turn up here in Hookshotless GTG. If it is that wisdom piece that we've spotted, the pressure is going to be on Xavi, because Xavi is basically all in on tracking down these power and courage pieces that are very, very deep in the seed, and Netherian's going to have that tiebreak. Assuming it all plays out how we think it might. There's no guarantee that that's the answer still, but we'll see how it goes. There's a big chest in Fire Temple, so Xavi might be done here in a moment. The long shot. Okay. So that means that there's another item in Fire Temple deeper on. That's actually pretty good for Xavi, because that's one of the items that we needed to get to Nocturne. Going to be able to clear out Morpha and pick up Nocturne now. Not able to take advantage of that Shadow Temple entrance yet. Missing Dins, but so one step closer to those 18 Triforce pieces.
Okay. Safely through for Netherian, so we're going to find out very, very soon. So it could be any big chest potentially that we find in GTG. So from this point forward,
here's another big one. This could be strength too. That would be a pretty big deal if this ends up being a strength upgrade.
There's the piece.
It's just here.
Wow.
Okay, race on, friends.
Yeah,
and there's another big chest that we're about to see in a second too. But Netherian, with that first Triforce piece, has got the tiebreaker. And if Xavi's going to take game one of this finals, he is going to have to go all the way to one of these 18 pieces.
Yep.
Otherwise, that one Triforce piece is going to be enough to take game one. So strap in. This is going to be a very exciting conclusion to this. Another big chest. And Netherian just reflex dives out of there. Not a big deal. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think from Netherian's reaction, he doesn't think he's ahead, because I don't know, he kind of like flung his sword or something. I don't know. But
I mean, why would you think you're ahead?
Yeah, why would you? Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I can totally understand that reaction. There's a big chest on both sides.
It's hover boost. Wow.
Oh no!
Wow.
That's required. That is a required
that is
item.
required.
Because we know that there's a path item in Shadow Temple.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Hover's Lock. So Xavi now is going to have to go back to GTG.
Yeah.
And there's another big chest.
Problem is, if this is something like a Dins, it's actually not good for Netherian. Essentially, I don't know.
Okay, it's just bait, but still.
Yeah, that's okay.
This is very dangerous for Xavi, though, because Xavi is not going to have any information pointing back to GTG other than the fact that there was that one big chest.
I guess we have the path thing. We do have a path GTG.
We have a path GTG, but we also know that the strength 1 was path in GTG. Now, here's the thing. Xavi didn't buy that hint. So Xavi doesn't know for sure that it's actually the strength 1 that's path. So maybe that could work in Xavi's favor if Xavi ends up convinced that that's not the case. But from the hint's perspective, we've acquired everything that we could expect to in GTG. And so Xavi gonna be headed to finish Water Temple here just to pick up Nocturne. I mean, it's progression, makes sense. But then But then what?
Yeah. And I feel he'll end up going back to GTG. I just don't see why he wouldn't. What else he has at the moment? The big thing lingering for this seed is how do you get into Spirit Temple? We do need Din's Fire.
I think the Din's is in Shadow.
Oh, you think? Okay, Shadow. Oh yeah, Shadow. Yeah, so we need the hover boost. Yeah, that makes sense. And we still have that.
So the one good thing for Xavi is that if Xavi ever goes back to GTG, I think Xavi has everything else.
Yeah.
If we're thinking, so like my assumption, and I could be wrong, but if we have Strength 2 in Child Spirit for Adult Spirit, and we have Dins in Shadow for Shadow Entrance, which is hilarious, by the way. Just me saying those words is very funny. Then that, I believe, is everything that we would need for Storms.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot about Shadow, and yeah, that makes complete sense at the moment. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah.
Yeah, but from Xavi's perspective, like the hovers could be like anywhere, right? Like he could potentially get lost in like Ice Cavern very easily. It kind of looks like Ice Cavern might be where we're heading now. I'm not sure where else it would be after Ice, but yeah, as we get closer to that 2-hour mark, some of these little decisions are going to make a difference because depending on the Shadow Temple layout and how kind it is, like Dins could potentially be very deep in Shadow Temple, and it's going to require a lot of time to get there. And then we have to probably end up beating Twinrova, so that's going to take a decent amount of time. And if we have to do Child Spirit, then that's going to be additional checks that are pretty slow. And Xavi now looks like we're probably buying that Strength 2 hint. That's what I'm guessing this rupee is for.
Yeah. But it is important for Xavi now what his decisions are because Netherian will be catching up now. So any sort of going to the wrong places.
This looks like a reverse to GTG, so this is good. This is not getting baited by Ice. I think this is still okay so far. But I do think that this, ironically, for Xavi, the fact that Xavi doesn't know for sure that the Strength 1 is Path in GTG, I think is actually helping a whole lot. I think that if Xavi knew for sure that that Strength 1 was Path, then it makes going back to GTG much less obvious, because the hovers could be anywhere. I mean, chat's saying, Ice, deeper in Forest Temple, there's a few checks left in Deku, like, somewhere silly in the Overworld. It could be... anything could be the answer. But that big chest that you peeked in the maze, even though we know it's actually not that chest, hilariously.
No.
It's calling to him.
Yeah. But he also knows that there's a good chance his piece is here, so when it's not exactly that chest, he will also want to get on the board and get a piece.
That is true, yeah, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, not a whole lot of hookshot lock checks left.
As it stands, Netherian is leading, and really depends on Xavi. Will have to get at least 2 pieces if he wants to win.
I mean, this race is really just Xavi against the clock.
Yeah.
That's really just what it boils down to at this point. It's, can Xavi get all the way to what we presume is bottom of the well in the next 50 minutes before the time limit expires? And I think he can.
Yeah.
But it could get exciting. if anybody's joining us for the first time and has never seen a Triforce Blitz race before, maybe I'll take this moment as we are kind of re-clearing some stuff on both of the streams here to kind of give a very brief explanation of what you're watching here. So, Triforce Blitz is a Triforce Hunt setting, and the way there's only 3 Triforce pieces hidden in the whole seed, and so as soon as you get all 3 Triforce pieces, you warp to the credits and you've won. But additionally, we play with a 2-hour time limit. So if you're not able to find all 3 Triforce pieces in the 2 hours, then we stop, and whoever found the most pieces the fastest ends up winning. So that's why Natharian has that little clock icon on the tracker. That's indicating that Natharian found the first Triforce piece faster than Xavi found his first Triforce piece. Now, if we reach the 2-hour mark and nobody else has found any other Triforce pieces, then that means Natharian's going to end up winning this game 1. But Xavi still obviously has the chance to find the remaining Triforce pieces and win by finishing first. We get a lot of information in these settings. This is a very high information kind of hint distribution, extremely high, because this is kind of like a puzzle rando mode. We're all about kind of sleuthing out where the Triforce pieces are so that the runners can try to go there as fast as possible. We don't really do a lot of full world clearing in Triforce Blitz, at least usually. And one of the key pieces of information are those numbers that you kind of see in the bottom, slightly to the right area of the screen, where it says Power 18, Wisdom 6, and Courage 18. And you end up deriving a lot of information from those numbers, and it's a little bit complicated if you're a little bit new to the format. But the idea is that, simply put, those numbers are an indication of how difficult it is to find those specific Triforce pieces in the world. Because they're the total number of items that basically you're supposed to get logically in order to reach whatever location has the Triforce piece. And 18 is a pretty big number. Generally speaking, anything over 15 could potentially create issues with the time limit where there's a real risk of hitting 2 hours before actually being able to get where you need to get. So that's kind of the dynamic that we've been seeing in this race, where Xavi made the strategic decision to really go for it and risk not making it all the way to the locations that Xavi needed to get to before the 2-hour mark. And Natharian really prioritized that first Triforce piece, thinking that maybe those 18s are going to end up being too slow to get based on the layout of how everything works. Maybe not the decision making, maybe not quite that simple, but that's kind of how it's played out in practice. But we see now Xavi kind of hot on the trail. We got 45 minutes left. Xavi has everything that he needs, at least based on what we're thinking so far. Now, there could be some curveballs that we see depending on what items show up here, but we know that there's something somewhere in Shadow Temple. A lot of checks still left to do. And it could be as early as the first couple of checks, could be as slow as going all the way to Bongo Bongo, and Natharian into Shadow Temple as well. But unfortunately for Natharian, no long shot. So even if Natharian kind of picks up the items that he needs to get here, not going to be able to get to the Nocturne song because we need the long shot in order to beat Morpha, and that was buried pretty deep inside Fire Temple, so gonna require a lot of time here. But at least, unless something really goes astray here, Xavi on the pace.
Natharian also doesn't have a hook shot, so we could get the Shadow Clip.
That is true. That would be pretty interesting.
That's only for one check, so that would only be for Bongo. So this is quite risky for Natharian at this point.
Yeah, Natharian knowing that, I think by process of elimination, that that path item is on Big Pose. I believe Natharian did do Chew Bowling.
Yeah.
So just kind of delaying that. I think Natharian finishing DC, so does have a bottle now. Could elect to pick that up at some point.
Also, Natharian knows he's 2/3 of the way through the seed, and it's, you know, he just wants to clear this, pick up an item, see what it is.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit desperate, to be honest, but I don't blame Natharian for feeling that way. You kind of need things to work out, because the time limit for Natharian, I think especially, is looking pretty daunting. It would... I don't think Natharian has the time to clear all the way to the back of Shadow if, in fact, the path item ends up being there. Alright, we got a big chest in Shadow. Let's see if this is the answer. It's not the answer. Alright, deeper we go. So if we want to talk about really silly worlds, there's, I think, I think there is still an outside chance that that power and courage could be in completely different places.
Yeah, absolutely. I played enough seeds to know that you can have these these two items. You think, okay, they're in the same place, and they're just not. So it is possible.
Because you think about like 17 items being needed to get the Forest Medallion, right? But you could have a very different last item, very easily, in fact. You could have Strength 3 being a last item, and that's a +1 to get you to Light Trial. And you could have Storms being another one that get you in the bottom of the well. And you could even have, bear with me here, Song of Time being your last item for Toilet.
Yeah, because we know we needed the Iron Boot. Oh, it could be that. Yeah, we needed the Iron Boots also. No, Water Temple it can't. Yes, it could be still Toilet. Yeah, Song of Time.
Because I think Iron Boots were on the path for the Water Temple entrance, right?
Yeah, for Fire Temple. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that being said, it still seems. Oh, this is. Oh, it's Dins. All right, there we go. So that's Dins in Shadow Temple. That's what we called. So we are into the Shadow entrance once Xavi elects to.
Check these for strength too. But just in case.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and there it is.
Wow. Okay.
So there is a path item in Spirit that isn't strength, and we thought maybe the Child's was an option.
Well, it could be Strength 3 though.
Strength 3, yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the only thing it can be, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So it could easily be Light Trial then.
Yeah.
But then I guess the question is, why is Mirror a thing?
Unless it's just one of the mirror lock checks in.
Yeah, I guess Strength 3 could be mirror locked in.
Yeah.
I mean, to answer Purple's question in chat, I think I've been writing off Nath reaching either of those pieces for the last 20 minutes. So, Nath's best chance is for both of these Triforce pieces to be on total.
Yeah, they can't. They can't. I mean, Nath doesn't really have a chance if they're in the same. They're both in low drop, so or something. So yeah. That was a good, really nice play from Xavi. You just double check those last two in shadow in case it is a strength 2. And
Yeah.
it's very easy in Triforce Blitz to sort of get your item and then I'm done, I need to leave. But actually, you can always shadow clip in case it was beyond that.
It is kind of fortunate for Xavi that ended up being there, because it could have very easily just been after the boat.
Yeah. But at least with that option, you can just shadow clip it. You have to do the whole of. You don't have to do the whole of shadow again.
Yeah, most likely. I'm trying to think of any way that that the strength 2 could just be floating out there, because I mean your path is fulfilled by the dens. So I guess there's no guarantee that the strength 2 has to be there. You could have it be deeper in Forest Temple, right? Because that would be strength 1 locked.
And we did most of Fire Temple up to about the.
Yeah, probably not deeper in Fire. I think.
Yeah.
I think it would have made things pretty spooky in terms of time limit. But regardless, the Shadow Temple layout favoring Xavi at least a little bit, and we are into Spirit with 35 minutes left to go in this seed, which I think, based on what we're expecting so far, seems like a very healthy amount of time to get where we need to go. Getting that key in Child Spirit, and that's all we need to get.
I wonder what Netherian's thinking at this point.
I guess one other possibility we hadn't considered is, what if we're off by 1, and maybe you don't actually need the Forest Medallion? Maybe one item is in Light Trial behind Strength 3 and Spirit, and the other one is just Mirror Shield locked, like the actual Triforce piece itself.
Oh, yeah.
If that's the case, then we're going to be done pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we're expecting to pick up an item here, so... Either way, I still feel Xavi has enough time on the other side.
Oh, yeah. I think Xavi in a commanding position for sure.
Yeah.
Unless something comes out of left field, I think Xavi is not going to have any trouble picking up a second Triforce piece at a minimum.
I think Netherian's best chance there was that Hovers wasn't in GTG. It was Strength. Strength was the path.
Well, I think Netherian's best chance is that Hovers show up in the Forest Temple clear. And once Forest Temple ended up not having anything in the back areas, I think that was kind of curtains. Unfortunate, Nath gonna have to climb up Fire Temple to get that magic. We'll find a hookshot on the way.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to be an option. Still needing that first hookshot as well.
No, I think he's gonna. Yeah, he needs it. Yeah, because the long shot's hookshot locked. So there's nothing. It's just one
Sometimes
of those.
You try to find a way around what the seed wants you to do, and there's just no way around what the seed wants you to do.
Yeah, it just happens. You know.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Yeah. Yeah.
that's rough.
That's rough, yeah.
Xavi continuing to clear Spirit Temple.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes open for big chests. None so far, though. Might end up having to go all the way to Twinrova, but still plenty of time for that.
Yeah, we'll find out these mirror lock checks, and then we'll find out what's going on. Really, Xavi's really everything's kind of fallen really nicely for him in this seed, especially that Ruto's, like just not having to do any of just hook shots into the item and all these things.
I think it really started at the very beginning for
Yeah.
Xavi. That going child first, the songs just really lined up nicely, and getting the ZL. All right, here's a big chest that's mirror locked. Let's see what we got here.
That's strength 3.
Okay, so that is strength 3. I guess we could have 2 pieces in Light Trial. It's not impossible. We still may need to come back to Spirit though to beat Twinrova. But that it does seem like there's not going to be any Triforce pieces in Spirit Temple, based on what we've just discovered there. But Xavi making the right call to leave immediately. If both of these Triforce pieces are in Light Trial, then this is the right play. You don't want to waste any time full clearing Spirit. No, you know that Strength 3's got to be leading to at least 1 piece.
And then you just go back and try and get the sum. So if you only pick up 1.
One big chest. One big chest. Still a chance that they could both be here, but seeming less likely. Oh, there's a second big chest. All right, I eat my words there. So let's see. Are these both the Triforce pieces?
Think shot?
Well, no.
There's 1.
All right, there's power. Gonna need a key to check that other other Light Trial check there. So we get a little detour, but still possible that we're gonna need to go back to Spirit Temple to beat Twinrova to get some more songs.
And there's
But with that second Triforce piece, Xavi does take the tiebreaker back. Therian gonna need to get all 3 Triforce pieces in order to pull this out, which I think is asking a lot based on what we know about how things have been going. So the result probably not too much in doubt, but let's see where this last Triforce piece ends up being. I'm kind of hoping it's here because I think the drama's not too dramatic, but we might need a few more minutes to wrap this thing up.
Yeah, so it's bottom of the well. Yeah.
So Xavi, where are you going now? What is the plan?
Just maybe clearing his thoughts and then I think.
Prelude, I don't know what this plan is.
Okay, maybe we still have some. He's just double checking.
Only in Triforce Blitz do you see something like that.
Yeah. I mean, of course, like. I don't think this is the song you.
I think Xavi assumed that that was the end, and it wasn't. And now Xavi is thinking, and you're watching a live reaction of someone panic thinking about where that other piece was.
Yeah.
I think Xavi was done with this seed in his mind.
But there is also, I mean, like, when you're in a race, this is like completely normal panic.
Oh, it's very easy for us to manage this information.
Like we see everything, but the moment you're in a race, brain can just desert your body for a few seconds. You're just not sure what's going on. The time's ticking.
So for chat, we're thinking that it has to be either well or toilet. I think well or toilet are the only two options.
Yes, there is. Yeah, we still have.
Okay, there we go. Now we're headed back to the right place.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need a few seconds just to be ahead. Yeah, we still have that toilet option, but yeah, in terms of the actual race, there's really. I mean.
Even if it ends up being toilet, I think Xavi is going to have enough time to get there.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious, though.
And Ethereum would have to think, if he does catch up in some way, would have to think, I'm so far behind, I'll do toilet instead of well first.
I guess technically we don't know for sure between storms and suns, but if it's suns, then I believe that just confirms toilet. On to Twin Rova we go. Just kind of clearing things out. This is the rare Triforce Blitz Go mode. When I designed this mode originally, I was trying to design things so that you would have Go mode as infrequently as possible. Because I felt like Go mode was just a waste of everybody's time, which it usually is. But you can never design something out 100% of the time in Rando, and we're stuck with a little bit of cleanup before we can call this race for good. But still, what an incredible performance by Xavi. We were thinking early on that this would be really challenging, and it looks like we're going to get double 18s in different spots in under like 145.
Yeah, really impressive. I feel everything, and Ethereum tried everything to break the seed, but it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's there's nothing wrong with what Netherian did.
No.
I think just sometimes things work out the way they did, and Netherian committed to plays and they didn't pay off, and sometimes that's just what happens in Rando, and that's why we play best of threes. You know, like let's runners go for stuff without having to risk the entire tournament on a single decision. But Xavi going to be going up 1-0 in this series, and it'll be a championship point for game 2, which I don't think is scheduled yet. Let me I'm going to take a look at the scheduling thread before I give misinformation. Yeah, just game 1, so we'll have to wait and see when game 2 ends up getting scheduled. But we'll do our best to bring it to you here again on the Silver Gauntlets. It is really a treat to get to restream these races once we get to the end. Everybody's had a really good tournament so far. It's been really smooth, and I think settings have been very, very fresh this season, if not the best balanced. But hey, when you mix things up, you got to take some risks, and we certainly have I think looking forward to the next season. It's going to be a very wild and wide open season with all the changes going on in standard that we're going to need to evaluate. And I already have kind of like a concept in mind for season
nice.
5, which I think was not the case when I finished season 3. It took me a while to kind of figure out what I was even going to attempt for season 4, but now it's like, okay, I know. At least I have one idea of like how exactly I could kind of improve the way things are currently. And then with all the standard changes, that may even change things further. We have the luxury of waiting for the main tournament to play out, kind of see how all that goes down, see what kind of new stuff is available, and then we can tune things appropriately to make sure that Triforce Blitz is still fun and puzzly for the future.
Yeah, I felt season 3 was from my point of view, it was like very difficult to make really big changes. So actually, the dungeon requirements season 4 really worked out. I mean, I really enjoyed watching it. I've enjoyed playing in it, and actually now that they've changed the standard stuff, I agree. There's going to be some really interesting stuff. So I look forward to it.
I may have said this elsewhere. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
I really felt like season 3 was kind of the pinnacle of. I don't feel like I could improve the core concept beyond what we achieved with season 3. And so if we wanted to keep TFB going, we kind of had to make some really foundational changes to mix things up a lot. And whenever you do that, you kind of introduce the risk of things being like more challenging or not as fun, because you're kind of changing some of the core sauce, right? But the nice thing is, I think we managed to keep things fresh with all the stuff that we introduced this season, by changing a lot of the logic. And now we can kind of go back and refine some of the things that didn't work out quite as well, where I think many people have said like the seeds feel too long on average, which I agree with. That wasn't, even when I designed this, I had attempted to limit the craziness of the dungeon entrance randomizer because I was worried that it might be too crazy. And even then it was still, I think, crazier than anybody expected. So it just goes to show that it's sometimes when you put stuff out there and then it doesn't quite match what you expect. But this could be it for Xavi, bottom of the well. This could be it. It is. Wow.
Good games.
And we're done. 141. And Xavi going to be taking a 1-0 lead in this series, nailing all 3 of these Triforce pieces well under the 2-hour time limit. Incredible performance by Xavi. Congratulations. We'll take a moment and see if any of our runners want to join us for an interview. I'm going to take a moment and use the restroom before they pop in, but hopefully we'll get a moment.
I'll wait to use the restroom until you finish.
Okay, yeah, I'll be fast.
Look, magic, so that's unfortunate. Hello.
Howdy.
Yeah, yeah. Commiserations, but I guess we're just going to wait on. I don't know if Xavi's going to join us. So.
I see him.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he's
hello.
here. Yeah, Ela just went to the bathroom, so he'll be back.
I am
Anything
back.
you want? Anything you want to say? I guess like Xavi very well played. Like the routing worked out amazingly for you. But anything you want to say? Start with Netherian, maybe.
Yeah, I got baited everywhere. It very much felt like the 6 piece was in forest. I full cleared forest.
Okay.
I kind of got baited into that big chest on the island, which I mean was required anyway. But like, I did that without hook shot, and it just felt like once I found lens in DC, it felt like the first hook shot was gonna be on treasure game possibly, or at least this would be something. But nope, it was just
Okay.
yeah, I had in my mind to just check it, but I didn't. I got punished.
Yeah, I think you got punished also because you just put off getting opponents so long in terms of you actually got the first piece the quickest because Xavi was, I assume, like I mean I'll ask Xavi himself, but I assume that Xavi wanted to return everything while he was making progression, thinking that he would get all three pieces. But
Makes
I
sense.
assume,
So you said one piece was in well, so Storms was on what Prelude then?
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, that was very confusing when I was in Lightshire and where's my second piece? Hello? And
Yeah,
I was so
yeah.
confused I even wanted to go to Ice Cavern, like for whatever reason, and then I checked my rewards.
Fair,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
It
was the
just kind
only
of
other
like
option.
it was just a weird like routing ahead on it. So I felt pretty good because I found like the slingshot to bow, which I'm not even sure the sling is path at this point. I think it's too. I think it just happens to be there, but
You
So you
know,
found
it's
that
like,
without hint?
no, I found that like hint.
Okay, okay.
But like when I was adding like steps together, it didn't feel like sling could be path. But I guess it's also I was not considering both not being in light, so it might be something along the lines of that.
yeah, we had a hook shot as the sixth on that, so it would have been Requiem for ZL for Epona, Slingshot for bow for hook shot.
Yeah,
The
the
other hook
six made
shots
sense
last
to
time.
me. It's
Yeah.
the 18s. Like
Mhm.
I think I think I closed my track already, but like I was already at 18 without storms, so I don't like because you had mirror as well in that instead of strength
Mhm.
3 and 1. So because you have mirror instead of strength 3, then you're adding storms as well. So I don't know. I'd have to
Mhm.
look at the spoiler log. I think slingshot might not be path, but there's nothing else. It sounds like there's nothing else there, so I don't know.
But then there has to be something else, and like that's really the case.
I guess I could look at the spoiler log right now.
Yeah.
Wait, the second hook was hook locked, right?
Yeah, because that
Yeah,
was
that was
in
in
fire.
water entrance, yeah. So first hook was behind slingshot? Yes. Yeah, big pose, yeah.
Let's see.
So yeah, I think
Yeah,
slingshot has to be
power.
far.
It is slingshots. It's irons,
Yeah.
hammer, sling, requiem, bow, ZL, Pona, hookshot, Rudo, strength, mirror, magic, hovers, dins, nocturne. I had to see what I had on my list things. I feel like I didn't have mirror in there.
Yeah, I just did the magic trick. 18 steps. I don't even try to count them. Yeah, somehow that worked.
I felt this was a bit more of a lenient 18 than other ones,
Yeah.
but like your routing was excellent because it kind of like going child first. You managed to pick up the Requiem and the ZL, so you could then get opponents much quicker than Netherian did. So it kind of just worked out that way,
Mm.
which
That's
was
twice
nice.
you've gone child. You've like done like an age change before me, and it's worked out for you well. Not that it mattered. This eve I was not anywhere close. So
Yeah, with Prelude start, I think Child start is a good choice. You can always go back to Temple of Time.
Yeah.
I do feel like one thing that we haven't mentioned that I think was very helpful was actually finding the bottle in Gerudo Valley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because Netherian, you had to kind of run around. Ultimately, you turned in Rudo's letter to be able to get the bottle and made doing big pose, I think, really unattractive. But
That's fair,
Xavi,
yeah.
yeah, got that explosives, and then there's a bottle in the waterfall in Valley,
Yeah,
and
that
picked
was
that up,
big.
and then that made getting that first hook shot like right along the way. And we weren't sure that it was going to be a good decision because we saw Xavi made it to GTG first
Mhm.
and ended up getting the bomb bag a little bit later and elected not to do hook shotless. And we
I
thought that
forgot
maybe
about
there
it.
was going to be that wisdom piece on the bow chest that you can peek through the maze because there was a big chest there.
Hmm.
And so we were thought maybe you were making a mistake by not going back for that, but then you got the bottle and then the hook shot right after it, and then it worked out really, really well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
I think
I was
I might
thinking
have
about doing that, but
I might have pushed
go
too
ahead.
hard into the 6. I feel like the seed. Like I said, I full cleared forest because I feel like the 6 could have been there pretty easy. And then ended just being in GTG. But yeah, I think
Yeah,
not getting Epona is what hurt because I couldn't get bomb bag the first time I was there. I had to like hike back to GTG a second time to get the piece and bomb bag.
I think the forest play could have potentially worked out for you, and it was just a little bit unfortunate that it didn't because we knew from you buying the strength 1 hint that the strength upgrade that we found in GTG was path, and so when you ran into hovers in GTG, I think that was actually a little bit unfortunate because I think from the information in the seed, those hovers could have very easily been just in Forest Temple, and if that's the case, that would have made things a lot more exciting when it comes to like the time limit. Certainly, the way things got distributed, it could have been a little bit less friendly. With the strength 2 being in shadow, could have been deeper, requiring more time, and the hovers could have been somewhere else. And if that's the case, then getting all 3 by 2 hours is definitely not a given.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was even considering that it easily could have been hookshot on the island there. Like that could have been your first hookshot logically
Yeah.
because you had enough keys to go all the way around and then jump down. Just happened to be Rudos and not hookshot or something more useful.
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate because you were both in forest at the same time, but Xavi just got to hook shot onto that, and you had to go all the way around. So it was really unfortunate.
Yeah, just unfortunate routing. Well, I don't think I even routed badly. It just kind of
Mhm.
didn't play out. So
Yeah.
it's how it crumbles sometimes.
Yeah, we were saying much of the same thing. It's like that's why we play best of threes, right?
Yeah, and then I think the biggest bait, and I knew I should have kept going in DC. I don't think it didn't matter because I was nowhere close to finishing. But like that lens just didn't feel right. But like
Yeah.
it added up on my tracker. I had 18 as light trial with that lens there, and I was like, this all adds up. It has to be this. And then nope. Yeah, I assume it was what Din's inside DC then.
Is mirror actually
No, yeah.
What was Din's then?
shadow?
And
Shadow.
Shadow.
Oh, it was so strength 2 and Din's was in there. Okay.
Back to back.
Yeah, and
I
that's
was so
we were
tempted to
pretty
leave after
surprised to
Din's.
see the Din show, or sorry, the strength 2 show up because we were
Yeah.
thinking that maybe it was strength 2 in child spirit to get into adult spirit. We were not quite right. It was close.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a nice play to check those last 2 in shadow because if you'd left after Dins, you would have bought the hint and you would have had to go back to shadow. So it was
Yeah. That was my
yeah.
thought behind it. Like, I have the shortcut, I can just get clipped
Yeah.
through. Just do two more checks. It doesn't hurt that much, I guess.
Oh, what was the other one in the spike room? The wooden wall.
The
I did
Din's,
all of Shadow up to hookshot, like lock stuff.
Din's was in after the wind tunnel in the readout room,
Ah, okay.
and the Gipto room had strength 2.
That's right. With the new rule set, I could have cleared it all.
Wow.
All right. Well, I think we're getting pretty close to the end. Any final thoughts? I'll give it to Xavi and then to Nath, and then we can wrap.
No, thanks for restreaming this again. 3rd race in a row you're restreaming from me. Thank you very much. And thanks for organizing this tournament. And thanks for playing, Nev. I hope next round goes better for you.
So
I
I
love game threes.
Yeah.
yeah, so I think everything played out fine as far as like my decision making just didn't work out. So that's rando for you. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I was definitely curious, but I think that the biggest thing I was wondering the whole time was who found the first piece first. And I felt late on mine, so I was kind of playing a bit more aggressive, and then kind of like I think just kind of compiled on itself.
Yeah, I think we captured your mindset pretty well from the commentary booth. 'Cause we thought you probably had no reason to think that you found that first Triforce piece first, but we knew that your best chance of winning the whole time was just the time limit running out, with the rest of the items being very trolly. But anyway, thank you both for what was an incredible performance. Congratulations, Xavi, on the win and the 1-0 lead in the series. Stay tuned. We'll have information about when game 2 happens once that gets scheduled, and we'll do our best to bring that to you on the restream. But with that, that's all for me. And thank you, Zaid, for joining me as well, and to the trackers and all the other volunteers that make this restream possible. I will hand this over to Hell Knight to take us out, and we will see you all